Yeah. So it's interesting. We're slightly to the right of centre, which is quite
Progressive
interesting.
right.
But we're more aligned with the Greens Party than the Labor.
That's pretty much the social
Party.
democratic position. You see, I mean, a bit right of
It is.
economics, and then on the social justice and the progressive side again.
That's right. That's right. So, which makes sense. So if there was a person with 4 personalities that matched ours, this is where that person would vote. It's good to know. Yeah, so this has been a really fun exercise. We might just go around the table for some final words, if that's cool.
One good thing is that we are not polarized towards any party.
That's good.
But I also feel we are rather too close, or I should say the Liberal National Coalition, which is a conservative. Of course, it's not conservative Trump style, it's conservative light.
Yeah.
That's not very far from the position of the Australian Labor Party in our survey.
Yeah.
And that's interesting because it's a general impression that the opposition party does not provide a great alternative to the ruling one in Australia, except in terms of the credibility of the persons leading it. So there's no real opposition of policy. There is opposition in terms of the leadership and so on. That's also shown here. 57% Labour, 54% LNP.
That's right. That's a good analysis, actually. Yeah, definitely.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting. So
and we never consciously chose a green position.
No, we didn't.
Right?
No.
I think because
the percentage might be misleading when you look at the quadrants, right? Because at least in the quadrant, at least with the quadrant, the coordinate, they mapped it with on like 2 axes, right? One on the economic axis and the other one on social axis. But I don't know. And again, at the same time, when they say the agreement within that, maybe that agreement percentage is with the level of agreement that we had. I think ranging from disagree to strongly agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know which one is more representative because seemingly, if we look at the quadrant, right, green is the farthest from us. Even LNP is nearer to us. Of course, Labour Party is something that is closest to us in terms of the overall, social and economic, assessment.
I think the graph looks right, Sharath.
I think the graph is more representative. I think.
Yeah, if you consider the fact that Scott Morrison's the leader of that party, you would want to stay well away from that. But as a party and as a policies, that's where we are.
The point it shows that is the place where that BG sir said that he'll open a party. That's where he should be having this. So my vote for you, sir, when you start that party over there. For me, it's a great exercise. I have gone through this exercise many times so far. I should thank Arjun to introduce this to me, greatly helped me in discussing this with many people, understanding different points. Especially today, I really wanted to have this discussion with BG sir because he would throw a bigger perspective of things and much deeper understanding of these issues. Thank you, sir. Thanks for your time. I very much appreciate it. I'm actually moved by the 2 words that you used today, reception and the guest. I should keep that in my mind always, that rather than calling someone refugees, I think we should call them as guests. Thanks for the great insights that really moved me today. And thanks, Sharath, for joining us early and giving us time. Arjun, I can't thank you enough. Yeah. You've been a wonderful host, and definitely you gave me this great training as well. Thanks to everyone.
So I actually thought it was Aditya's lead here, but I understood that the power was with Arjun, and it was your need, Aditya. You wanted to know how to vote, and you sat down to discuss all the things. I hope voters give so much time, because at least they would have considered seriously the options, the possibilities, the prospects, the risks, and so on. I wish we get even 10% close to this in our own context back home in India, where sadly, apart from political parties which are corrupt, the voters have become corrupt as well. Voters charging money, negotiating money, a package for the family so that they can go buy a TV or a scooter or scooty and things like that. We've heard so many stories of that kind. Of course, once a voter has become corrupt, nothing can save that place. It wouldn't even be majoritarian rule. It would be absolute collapse of everything that democracy stands for. But it is fantastic that we were able to touch upon so many issues. Hopefully we'll have this turned into a video that we can share. This is a SAHA activity, is it not? The South Asian Humanist Association activity. So put the logo on it and then package it right and circulate it. I believe it cannot be a light discussion. It's something that took us, what, 3 hours and more?
I think 5.5 hours.
And it can be there for people to dip into, to look at from a very superficial level. We did not have facts and data to drive the discussion. It was more instincts, policies, principles. But that's also good. I know that Albanese did not know the percentage of unemployment in the country, and they made a big fuss. But you don't need to know the exact percentage. If you get the approach right, then the technical persons will get everything in place. Politics is not the same as management. Politics is about principles, policies, informed by facts, but it's not an exam where you need to know and remember these things everywhere for a media person to run a quiz on you. But I think we spent some time thinking about this. Hopefully people will give us some time and use the points we raised as an aide-memoire for themselves. So thank you guys for organizing it.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. And Sharath, any final words from yourself?
Sure. I think this has been a very interesting exercise and we should do it. We should keep doing it. We should do this for India as well, but but I don't know. I mean, I don't know what exactly the policy issues that we should be talking about in Indian context, because I mean, the party, campaign promises, that manifesto, they contain a lot of stuff, but we don't really know how much of that is really the intention. When they come into power for any party in India, pretty much. So, but still, I think we can still try to drive this kind of discussion in Indian politics also. But this is only the way to make informed voting choices. And I think I echo the statement that Babu Gogneni has said, which is about approach being correct, even though you don't have the data with you. Yes, I think voting choices are about that, and you don't really need to have like ton of data to make a decision. It's only when you are ambiguous about something, just to place yourself where you should be. I think a data point might be helpful. But voting choices are largely about what kind of culture you want to be. You want to get selected in an election. Sometimes decisions can go wrong. Some party can have the best policy around, but none of them might work because they could not have got the politics right. So there are all sorts of issues like that. So I think it's prudent to think about what works and what should be the approach and things like that. This has been a fantastic exercise, and thank you, Arjun, for initiating this, and thank you, Aditya also, Aditya for facilitating all this thing. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. We should do it often, and we can put the chapters, for each of the question in the YouTube video, because it's going to be long, so that people can jump. We can make it accessible.
Yeah, I think so. I think each question can be a separate chapter, or we can club a few questions that are related together or whatever. But yeah, thank you all so much. It's been an absolute pleasure to chat with you all. I mean, it's a privilege really to have your thoughts heard, and I'm glad that we didn't agree on everything. I'm glad that we had a few variations in opinions, and we were flexible enough to change our minds on certain things when motions were made towards a better argument or better reasons. I think that's a healthy sign for us. And yeah, we're at a crossroads in Australia here, and this is probably the most important election that we'll ever have in many ways. The trust in institutions is going down the drain. And I think this is how people should come out of that drain. We should discuss, we should disagree, reason, talk, and come to agreements, and be politically aware. So look, I'd love to do more of these. Maybe we can have a more focused, 1 hour, like on a very specific topic next time. But yeah, this has been a phenomenal experience. I'm so glad for it. Thank you, Aditya, for initiating this, and I'm so glad we did this.
Thanks, Arjun. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Okay. Have a good night, everyone.